This is How Far.
A podcast hosted by
Me, Temi Otedola.
and me, Mr. Eazi. Hey Temi, what's up? How far?
I'm alright. It's just all the weeks are like merging into one, to be honest. Like I feel like I have no grasp of time anymore.
Wow, how?
Like the
explain?
week goes so fast, the weekend goes so fast. And it never ends.
I don't know if there's weekends anymore.
Literally. It's just time to like sleep
What, the weekend?
and get energy to do it all over again.
Yeah. And maybe the real only weekend is like Sunday.
I mean, you actually don't do weekends, so I don't know. Like you won't. There's no difference between like a Wednesday and a Sunday to you
Yeah,
mentally.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yes. So what did you do this weekend?
nothing. My weekend was so dry. It was so dry. I was like, wow, there's actually nothing to do. I did yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Wow. I remember you telling me that you were going home and you were like, I'm going home, I'm going to be bored.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bored.
Mm,
I had lunch with my sister though, which was nice.
okay.
Talani, we love you. That's it. We had a nice gist session.
Okay.
And I had my first April of the summer.
Oh, wow. So it's summertime.
Many more to come. Yeah. What about you, Hafa?
Travel. I literally traveled Friday to Sunday and probably had total 4 hours of sleep between, in fact, from Thursday. So Thursday probably, okay, so maybe 6 hours. Thursday, the most sleep on Thursday going into Friday.
Yeah.
And then just traveling Friday, boom, boom, boom. Saturday, boom, boom, boom. Sunday to catch an early flight, boom, boom, boom. I was joking to you and saying it was like the most stressful flight I've had since 2016 because I was at the very last seat of the plane, just right next to the toilet. It wasn't fun. Middle seat.
What happened in 2016 that you remember?
Because in 2016 I flew from Accra. I flew from Lagos to London, KLM.
Yeah.
Similar position, middle seat. I didn't because I thought it was not so. I don't know. I left. You remember when you imagine leaving Lagos feeling is Lagos kind of weather. And then I just went in a t-shirt. So t-shirt,
Yeah.
middle seat, connecting flights, toilets behind me. So in no time, the smell was coming to me. And I was cold. Like it was a very long flight. I can't remember.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, so the flight of Sunday was reminding me of that. Except this time I wasn't cold. I was still cold. You know when I think there's a thing when you don't sleep and you just start feeling cold because of lack of. Has that happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I'm tired, I'm cold. Like my bones just feel a bit cold, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, why is your memory so good?
I think my memory is
Like, how do you know what year that happened?
because that was the first time I was coming to London to do a show.
Yeah.
So obviously it was a moment.
A moment,
It
yeah.
was a moment for me. So it's not everything I remember, as you know.
I
It's
mean,
just like there's some specific ones that I remember.
Yeah. I often forget my age.
What? What do you mean you forget your age?
Like, I have to really think about how old I am.
How? Explain.
Like, I need a second usually.
Oh, like when they ask how old are you?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Okay,
I'm 27.
that happens to me sometimes. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I've still been feeling I'm 30.
Yeah, I would say like, oh, I'm 25. No, I'm actually 27. I think it's anyone who's like whatever your COVID age was, like you've kind of stuck with it. Because I must have been 24, 25 during the pandemic.
Wow.
So I lost those peak outside years.
Oh. So it's officially summer now.
Yeah.
It's officially summer. I'm overdressed for summer with my hoodie. In case you see this, I'm wearing a hoodie, kind of overdressed. Any summer plans?
This summer is kind of dry for me. Like, usually I think I'd have a lot of things back to back. All we have is your birthday, because you're a summer baby, of course. But apart from that, not much.
What did you do last summer?
I don't know. I always have. When I see my memories bad, guys, I wouldn't know what happened last
Jeez.
summer 100%. Isn't that bad? I'll know one or two things, but that's why I have to like journal and write things down. Or I have to go through my phone photos. Otherwise, I won't know.
Wow.
You know?
Is it that you're being selective? Like, I think some people have. I think I definitely have selective memories. There's some things I will never remember, and there's some things I remember vividly.
And I can only remember, like, memories. Like I can't like hold on to memories. So when we went to Ibiza, was that last summer?
Ibiza.
You see, that was last summer.
Yeah,
your
that
birthday.
was last summer.
That would have taken me a moment to know
Yeah.
when that was in my mind.
Yeah.
That was only a year ago.
Yeah. And for birthday, I know you've planned the entire
Yes, we are going on a 10-day excursion, starting in Mykonos to Santorini to Positano to ending in Capri. Yeah, it's gonna be lovely.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be lovely. What's your birthday wish?
I haven't thought. There's only one thing. So there's one priority. There's only one thing in my mind right now. There's one thing I want to do right now, if you see on my scale of preference. So if I could do that by my birthday, I don't think it's possible. But if I could do that, just me saying I don't think it's possible mean I'm jinxing it.
Well, tell me what
It's
it
a
is
wish.
first. I don't know what it is.
So it's obviously related to work. So there's something I'm trying to like put together at work, right? I'm trying to put all sort of like almost all my companies into one. I just have just one company,
Yeah.
and every other company is a department.
I wonder whose idea that was.
It was your idea. It was your idea.
I need to
So,
start charging, guys.
just to be clear, it was Temi's idea. Temi's idea was like, okay, why don't you put all your companies into
consolidate
into one umbrella, and then blah blah blah, and so it was the idea. But the actual process of making that happen is like crazy.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think it's just the admin side of it.
Yeah, it's the admin side of it.
Yeah. The legal
all
is
of
long, the
that.
trademarks.
And then, trademarks and. By
So
the way,
that's
thank you
really
for
what
my
you
wish.
want for your birthday.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to put everything together, and I want to raise. I'm trying to raise like a lot of money. So if by my birthday I woke up, and because the putting everything together part is almost done, maybe it will be done by my birthday. To be honest, the part that is left is the injection of like money that I'll use to like just let's go.
To do what?
Huh? To do everything. Like for instance, I want to. I'm like to drive the whole thing. So it's like when I put the music into this, when I consolidate the music, when I consolidate sports, when I consolidate
Events.
I'm even putting you inside, by the way. I've been thinking
Add
of your
me.
movies. Yeah. When I consolidate the movies.
Yeah.
Right? When I consolidate everything, like,
It'll be a nice bundle.
it'll be a nice bundle.
The
But
fund.
that bundle, yes, but that bundle needs money to then just fucking like go crazy. You get me?
I get
So-
you.
So I'm saying go crazy. Like I was reading something today and I was like, okay, this is what I was reading a couple things today and I was like, okay, this is what needs to be done.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's what I want for my birthday. Really, really and truly.
To consolidate your businesses. I love it.
To get the money.
To consolidate your businesses.
Yeah, so guys, if you're listening to this and you have some money to come and dash me, you know, feel free, contact Whitney or MC for my banking details and just show some love.
I think cash as presents is underrated.
It is underrated.
It's underrated. It's actually if you don't know what to give me, you can give me cash. Even if it's £10, I don't mind because I'll spend it how I want to spend it.
I'm telling you, I actually don't want any birthday gift from anybody except cash. Please.
No, but people get scared when they say drop cash.
I shall buy it by myself.
No, people get scared when you say drop cash. So but I think you should be able to ask for cash presents. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I know everybody that's giving me a cash present. I know them by name. But
I would hope so.
But I don't know, and I'm saying it's not even a lot of money. Like I know, shout out to Jocelyn. Jocelyn gave me 500 Ghana cedis for my birthday.
You see, we see.
But I know exactly how much she gave me. I know how the money came to what account. Like I know everything.
Yeah.
DJ KY also gave me £1,000. Like maybe.
But how does that conversation happen?
Because he just asked me. He's like, Eazi, what do you want? What do you want for your birthday? And he's like, I don't know what to buy you. And I said, just give me money. And he says, okay, send your account details. I think he thought it was a joke, but when I sent it, he just sent me money. The same thing with Jocelyn. I was just like, but Jocelyn was different. I was just like, Jocelyn, I don't want anything. Just send me money. Like, and she just said, okay, send your Momo. She even did mobile money and sent it to me. So I know. I can tell you all the people that have given me cash. I can tell you how much they gave me. But I cannot tell you, wow, I know my love language.
Money, dollars.
Money! Oh, wow, it just hit me now.
Wow.
I can actually tell that. So summer is fully birthday plans. And there's one more. There's one more thing you're planning.
What's my planning?
What else are we planning this season?
Are we allowed to talk about this?
I thought we were allowed to talk about that.
Okay, everyone listening, all thousands of you have to sign a mental NDA.
Hold on. Should we not talk about it?
No, we can talk about it. But okay. This is our big secret. So only the listeners. No, this only the listeners of How Far will know this.
Okay, so we shouldn't talk about the when. We shouldn't talk about the
how or the why.
The how or the why, the location. We shouldn't talk about anything. We should just talk about
the process. The process. Okay, so we're going to talk about the events that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Our wedding.
Yeah.
How would you say the process has been? Number one, have we started planning?
I'd say we started planning.
Yeah.
So we started putting all the pieces together. I thought it was... What did I think? Okay, that's true. I never thought it was going to be a simple process.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a complicated process. But it is a fun process, I think. So it has gone from us like... It's like we're doing a project. It's like this is a project.
I'm not finding it fun yet.
Why?
Because we have different styles of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding it stressful.
What is your style?
There are many different bags open. I like to have one bag open at a time.
Mm.
And then I concentrate on that bag. I enjoy that bag. I understand that bag. Then I open the next bag.
Mm.
So if I have to have 4 bags open, my mind like disassociates. And it's too stressful for me.
Wow. That's crazy. Because
if there's one bag, you'll hate that bag.
If I have one bag open, I would literally die of boredom. Like I would lose my mind if I had just one bag open. Like it's like I would have jitters. Or like it would be like something is so guys, just to give you context, the different elements. This is where we're supposed to in the Daily Show. Do you watch the Daily Show on Comedy Central?
Not really, no.
So in between, the producer they'll switch this screen and then he'll go into something like, "This is Mr. Eazi and you're now welcome to Wedding Planning 101." Now, in the process of wedding planning, you might not get the joke because like you don't watch the Daily Show.
Okay.
Anyway, in the process of wedding planning, right now we've basically put it into um wedding planning, glam,
Yeah.
press.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 3.
Mm.
So wedding planning, glam, and press. What you would like to do is what? Start with wedding planning, be done with wedding planning.
No,
Then
not
move
that.
to-
Like, even just, let's say I haven't hired anybody.
Mhm.
I'm not going to start interviewing 10 people. I'm just going to interview one person. Be done with that one person. Then move on to the next person. So now that first person I've hired can start their work. Do you understand? And they'll come to me with updates. And I'm now hiring the second person. That person starts their work. They come to me with updates. You understand? But I'm not going to be interviewing 3 different people at the same time.
So how
Or
do
I
you know
might
who
be
you're
interviewing
gonna
them
work
at the
with?
same time. But like, anyway, it's just not my process, Sha.
Wait, so how do you know? So whenever you want to make decisions on people to work with, what do you do?
No, I'm not, like, basically, if I was building a company,
Mm-hmm.
I would look at, okay, let me hire my CEO first. Then I would do MD. Then I would do CFO. I might even be interviewing them all at the same time, but mentally I'm concentrating on one person at one position at a time. Like, my energy is going towards, okay, who will I hire as CEO? Check. Who I'm not thinking about all 80 candidates at the same time. Do you understand? Like, I think I get decision fatigue, so I actually need to just make one decision at a time. So let's say it's getting dressed in the morning. Before I'm deciding the whole outfit, I'm going to decide what shoe I'm going to wear first. Then I will do my bag. Then I will do my sunglasses. Whereas I think some people look more at the bigger picture. There's no right and wrong way. It's just that's how my brain will process it.
Wow.
Do you get what I mean?
No, I'm getting you. Whilst me, I would literally
I have to picture the full outfits first.
who?
Right? Yeah.
Me, I'd have to picture sort of like the full outfit, or I would but not in specifics. Like I would say maybe I need to wear glasses, a t-shirt, shorts, and shoes.
Yeah.
Then I will bring out 5 glasses, 5 t-shirts, 5 shoes,
Got
5
you.
shorts.
Well, I would add one by one, making sure
Yeah.
like one by one is working for the outfits.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think that's just been for me. That's why I'm finding the process hard, because it's not how I do things. But we've had to, meet in the middle. That's the whole point of being a couple.
But I think we're kind of there now because we've selected the 3 people we're working with.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how the process continues.
Or you still don't think so?
No, I'm saying we've come to that selection, but I'm saying even coming to that selection over weeks and months, it just stressed me out.
Wow, in your own way, it should have been done what, in a week?
Like basically it's like I like to make a decision and that be it. Like I just want to make a decision and be done. I want to tick off mentally.
Oh,
So it's interesting, but we shall see how things unfold.
what's been seems like we've not talked about it properly. What has been the most stressful thing about this process?
Yeah, I think having to not being able to do things with my method. So I'm not like it doesn't feel mentally cohesive to me right now. I don't feel 100% sure about what I'm doing. What about you?
The most difficult thing?
Yeah.
I think the most difficult thing has been, and I've spoken to you about this, has been, traditionally and society wise, you growing up, even now with some of my friends that have been getting married, it's always kind of felt like the wedding is the wife's thing. Stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Anything she says she wants to do, your answer is yes. Anything she doesn't want to do, she doesn't want to do. It's her thing. Your job is to make sure, like, if things need to be paid for, or if there's like some top line, very, very vital decision that needs to be made, you say it. But you even say it with the leaning of the woman. So if the woman says, I want to have it in a church, should we do it in a white church or in a blue church? and she's indecisive, and your job is to ask which do you favor the most. And if she says, well, I'm thinking the blue church, but the white church is also giving me this kind of feel, then you say, okay, let's go with the blue church, but not like be. And I think that in a way that was kind of what I thought it would be. And so now the fact that I'm having to sort of like be more in the process first is totally different from what I expected. And since I'm now in the process, I'm not too sure of how much in the process am I supposed to be. So, and if I'm in the process, then when I'm in the process, it's like there's a way I handle my process. And I think that's what's causing like stress on both sides, because like I'm saying, okay, this is how I handle my process. Boom, 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 boom. But that's not how you handle the process. And so decision making is now in my head. I'm like, okay, should I just go with whatever she wants to say? Should I have my opinion? When I have my opinion, it's contrary to your opinion. And then we're stuck on how to make a decision and like whose decision should we go with in those kind of times. So yeah, that's the biggest stress.
That's
element.
interesting.
We're going to pause now because we have one of our friends joining in. I think this is a cool time for him to come in. So, guys, a very big welcome to Suli, our official first guest on How Far
Our first
podcast.
ever guest.
First
This after
ever.
many seasons.
Ever.
That's an honor.
Ever,
That's a
ever.
very, very big
Thank you so
honor.
much for joining us.
Appreciate you guys
First ever.
trusting me.
First ever guest. So I've just for context, I've known Suli from I think I've probably first seen Suli on YouTube with poetry, and at the time I didn't know that Suli was boyfriends with Linda,
Yeah.
who I worked with at Platoon. She's a friend. She helps me. Like, I'm sure Temi has heard Linda's name a gazillion times.
I have.
And then I finally connect the dots, and Suli and Linda are married. But Suli has been... Suli has become like an internal, your post on Instagram. An internal thing between Temi and I, where I share with her, she shares with me, and sometimes we literally have a laugh about some of the things she
Like
read
we're
there.
gonna have a nice debate. We're
I'm
gonna have a
glad.
nice
Yeah,
debate.
so Suli,
glad.
you want to quickly just introduce yourself? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, full disclosure, I was late, so I'm not going to take up too much of an introduction. But yeah, Suli Breaks, in a nutshell, I guess I'd say like I'm a digital storyteller. I like to tell stories about life, philosophy, through spoken word or through like speaking or through content in many different ways. That's probably sums it up. And I guess my content about relationships and marriage is what's resonated with you guys, and the stories I tell from my marriage and the things that I've learned. I mean, it's resonated with a lot of people, and I'm glad that you guys are having healthy discussions.
I don't know about healthy. I don't know about healthy.
We will say discussions.
We're having discussions, healthy or unhealthy.
At least you're communicating. I'll take
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
You're
we're
communicating.
Let's take a
Exactly.
W from there.
And you have the for better, for worse. I just
Newsletter.
subscribe to that now.
Thank you very much.
It was
I really
long for me
appreciate
to
it.
subscribe.
Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, because like I wanted to read the story, then I saw there was a
Paywall.
Yeah,
I
I
got you.
started trying to do it. I'm sure I paid like maybe 4 or 5 times. I was frustrated, just like double tapping. Like I was
Well, my
like,
children appreciate, they appreciate
I
the
like how you
contribution.
just threw that stuff in. So Suli, it's good that you've come now, because we're just talking about how the first time we're saying it that we're wedding planning right now. I'm sure this is the first time you're hearing this as well.
Yeah.
And
We've started the process.
yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank
we started
you.
the process. And Temi just spoke about how I was like, oh, it's a fun experience. Yeah. And she says it's a stressful experience. And what's stressing her is the way I make decisions is different. Like our processes of doing things are different.
Yeah.
And I was saying what's stressful to me the most is I always thought the wedding was for the woman, and the woman makes all the decisions, and you're just there to show up, fund, and just say yes. and be on your best behavior. And now, being that she wants me involved, I'm now sort of like, okay, how involved should I be? Because when I'm so involved, then I'm bringing all my systems, and my systems is stressing her because she doesn't like decision fatigue. She loves to have like, boom, this is what I'm doing. I love to have 50 options and go through all of them, and in the end, just make the last decision.
Just go with natural instinct.
So what do you have to say? First of all, like, how did you do yours, and what do you have to say? What do you have to say to that? Really?
I feel like there's a similar dynamic in our relationship, in my relationship then, because I guess I was a lot more similar to you in my mindset that, like, you know, the woman, it's her day, I come in, you know, I get a fresh trim, buy a nice suit, and, you know, just make sure that she's happy.
Yeah.
But I guess Linda was more like, I want you involved, because I guess ultimately it's like, although the wedding happens on a day, the process begins before that, innit? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like with everything. So with her, she was like, I want to know that you care before we step down the aisle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by care, it's like, this, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Obviously, I didn't see her dress, but there was a lot of decisions where I wasn't too fussed about, but she was like, I at least want you to be emotionally invested. Like, and then I guess another part of it as well, it was like, and I'm not saying this is what you're going through, but she was like, she didn't want to have the responsibility of making decisions. And if they go wrong, it's like, oh, it's her fault. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's supposed to be both of you are supposed to accept responsibility. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here and just say I think I'm seeing a pattern. This is very interesting. I think, you know, some of the times, right? T might say that, oh, but I don't really care, right? Like, you know, if the tablecloth is yellow or pink, I don't care, right? But I think it's like, I think sometimes that's an excuse in a way. Because he'll say, "Oh, but you have such a good creative mind, and blah blah blah. It's gonna look beautiful." But for me, it's less about, "Oh, do I care if it's pink or yellow, or is he showing an actual interest in his own wedding?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not my wedding; it's our wedding.
So my question,
Yeah.
now I understand.
It's not about the tablecloth.
Yeah, now I understand.
Yeah.
What you mean. At the time, I was more like you. You know what I mean? Until we started going through it, and I was like we were having the same discussions. I guess, and this is how I always say to Linda. I was like, why do I have to contribute in this specific capacity? Why doesn't it have to be other ways that I contribute and make you feel like I care about the wedding?
Yeah. I know what you mean, because it could be things that you would genuinely have a opinion about, or you feel like you could.
Yeah.
Maybe it's music or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. I understand what you mean, but I do think that I think if it's kind of put down, like the tasks are put down equally, it's fine. But I think in general, the whole conversation is more about why, like, we might not necessarily care about some things also, but like, you know, the labor is often unequal with these things, just because a wedding is a woman's job.
But what do you mean equally? That's like, what do you mean like equally? Like decision making equally? Like, why must it be equal? Like, why must it?
It doesn't
be,
it doesn't have to
split?
be. But I think if the wedding is as much yours as it is mine,
Yeah,
you know, like, there should be
an equal investment, emotionally.
Not, it doesn't have to be 50-50, but even emotionally.
An emotional investment. Is he my question is he disinterested when you tell him these things, or is he just like okay, I'm not particular, or is he disinterested?
I think we're getting there, but I think it's him having to either like feign interest sometimes, which is fair enough. That's not a bad thing. I even prefer that.
Okay.
Or it's like you can tell like he doesn't care. But my issue was that this is not becoming therapy.
I'm just going for my water. It's not that deep.
I'm just trying to get context. I'm just trying to get context.
Come on.
No,
why is everybody making me feel like I just
listen.
went to get some water because like my mouth is like dry. Come on,
listen,
guys.
I want to move from the wedding topic, but my final point is that for me, it was like, I will do everything. I'm going to handle everything. I'm going to do everything. But when we're coming to pick our wedding planner, right, let's both decide together. Again, it was, I didn't want the responsibility of, this person ended up not being a good fit, and it was me who chose them.
And he'd probably complain. Like me, you end up complaining, saying...
No, but for me, I won't... That's the difference.
Actually, he might not
like,
complain.
For me,
Yeah,
I won't complain. It's like, okay, is the wedding planner not a good fit? Okay, let's get another one. Like, let's just switch. For me, it's like...
It's his nonchalance, which is
and,
good.
and Linda has the same issues with me,
Yeah.
where it's like... But it's not... I would side with you, bro. Like, honestly, if it was just us, I would side with you. But honestly, I said if it was just us, like, but on a mature level, like, in a very mature context.
Suli, please preach.
I understand where she's coming from, because it's like,
Yes.
what Linda always says to me is, and I know, Eazi, like, you're prolific, like, with your career, do you understand? She'll be like, but if this was a business deal, or if it was like a music campaign,
You're taking it seriously.
and that's
You're
where the problem always is. It's like, how come? So she's always like to me, I know you can be more invested, but you're choosing not to be, and that's where it looks like you don't care.
But Suli, why are you choosing not to be? Like, I want to know if it's the same. Are you really choosing not to be, or you actually right now? By the way, I'm scared of saying I don't care. Because
But if you don't care, just say you don't care.
Because we did have an argument where I said I didn't care, and it was like,
yeah, you can't say that
You
anymore.
can't say
bro.
that.
You got to remove that from your vocabulary
so
from
I
now
don't want
on.
to say I don't care. We need to find a new word. I'm not. I don't know. You're the poet. What? Instead of saying I don't care, what do you use now?
I've been banned from using words. Like, so there's a word that I'll be like, fair enough. Like, whenever Linda's like, let's do this, I'll be like, okay, cool, fair enough. She goes, you can't say that anymore. Or,
That's no wahala.
Yeah, like me, I'm not
He's
allowed
not
to say
saying
no
no
wahala.
wahala. He's not allowed to say that.
Yeah, no wahala means like no problem. Like,
No, but you can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm banned
It's
from
so
it because
annoying.
she hates it. She's like, you can't say all right, cool, or fair enough, because that's how you dismiss everything. And I'll be like, I'm not dismissing it. I just genuinely think fair enough. So now we've got to the point where it's like, when I'm gonna say that word, I need to think about what else could I say that gives this more context before I just go fair enough.
Yeah, I think naturally women are a bit more. We choose our words a bit. We're a bit more like. What am I trying to say? I think in general, women are more specific with the words they use to make sure that someone feels like heard and listened to and not dismissed.
I can agree with that. I wouldn't argue with that.
Do you think so? Anyway, I want to move on from this topic because that's not what we're here to talk about. But I'm happy that, I feel like we got a little bit of feedback.
But I actually didn't know.
What are your thoughts?
What I wanted to know actually was like, in the end, what was like, in your wedding planning process, what was the most important thing for you?
For me as a guy?
Yeah, as a guy. What was the most
personally.
important thing for you?
It was literally, and I'm just gonna be transparent, it was literally getting the suit, looking good, turning up and making sure that, like, it was a good day, it was a good vibe, you know what I mean? Like, generally, I could sit back because I couldn't sit back, but Linda's a project manager, you know what I mean? And sometimes it may be excused, but she wanted to oversee the project, she wanted me to approve. So I went, I met the wedding planner, I gave her my opinion, we met with the food, all that kind of stuff. But the most important thing for me was literally that she was happy on the day. But then when I actually got to the day, I realized that, no, this is actually for both of us. The more you get there, bro, and you see your family, and your family asks you certain questions and you want to know the answer to those things. You see what I'm saying? As it gets closer, you start to feel how much more of a weight this is on you as well. Because obviously Temi has her family, but then your family, they're not going to be going to her every 5 seconds and being like, what did you do for this, And then when your family now start wanting to invite this cousin from this place, you're going to need to know what the seating plan is and all, you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I would advise to get involved like early on in that process.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to give my guy some room. It's difficult, because
room for what?
I just said women have been planning their wedding their entire
Room
life.
for what?
No.
I haven't personally.
Really?
Yes, I haven't personally. And at one point, he was the one who was more vocal about having a wedding. I don't really need to do one. So that's also a big issue of mine.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
I didn't
that's
know.
also a different context. Is that I also don't necessarily care. It's just that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it well.
Yeah.
And I make the effort because I'm an adult. So I'm going to, if I'm going to do a wedding, I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to look at details.
I'm
Am I not responsible at all?
From where I'm sitting, on the passenger seat, I feel like yes, Temi is not in terms of like, she's not as, you know, I've like I have a lot of friends, you know, family that like all their life they were thinking about the wedding day. That's not Temi. Like that's not
okay,
Temi,
so yeah,
100%. Or like getting married, like it's I don't feel like it was on her list of things I have to do.
Okay.
Like top 2.
Wow.
understand?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like from
which
where
is-
I sit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And for a long time, that's how I felt, right? But like even with the wedding, it felt like okay, I don't really mind. You see, I'm trying not to use care.
Yeah, you can't use
For
care.
her, for me, I was getting the vibes of. For me, I was getting the vibes of okay, I don't mind about this. It's just like ceremony, right? I don't mind, and I don't mind if there's no ceremony at all. But I think somewhere deep inside, she actually wants to have and there's nothing wrong about it, a fabulous, like, a fabulous, like, dream wedding, but
I
she
can
almost
skip it, though.
cannot. It's almost like
But I could. I'm saying is I could skip it.
if you could skip it, like, it's not that deep. Like, if you could skip it, like,
Oh,
we just
wow.
skip it. Like, I swear to God, like,
Hey, bro.
I
No,
swear, like,
you guys don't get it.
I'm not even joking. Like, if we could skip this, if, like, for me,
Okay, I'm not as bad as you then. I'm not as nonchalant as you
I'm
at all.
telling you, a big.
No, we said what I mean by I can skip is that we were both happy going to the courthouse, and that's
Really?
it. Yes, you're the same. So why are you acting like is that shocking?
No, but we could just do that. Like, we could.
I'm
just
saying we could,
literally
but we
do that.
decided that we're not going to do that.
No, but part of us deciding that we're not going to do that is because I've also seen how you like the other stuff.
Yeah, because I like beauty. I like planning.
Exactly.
But it's
So that
it's
means
about that.
You do like it, because if you left it to me alone, like 100% to me alone, my decision, I'll just do the court and it's a wrap. Like we go on
peace
holiday.
sign.
No, I don't
we go
agree.
on
I don't
holiday
agree.
for like 1 month.
No, I don't agree because you're the one who was like, no, let's just do the wedding. You're like, let's do it.
Yeah, but this was because I was seeing how, like, okay, we want to do it, we don't want to do it. Like, I was seeing how that was also, like, adding to the stress. That
Yeah.
I just said,
But you
know
can't
what?
say,
I know you
but
want
I just don't
this,
think you
so
can't.
let's-
I don't agree that you can say
Like-
that it's me.
Yeah, because now
I
you're
don't
making it
agree.
sound like
Oh, you're
it was
doing this because of
yeah.
me.
And I'm not saying that's not a part of it, but you're making it sound like in the sense that it was like you're being not forced
No,
into
not
it.
forced.
No, but it's like it's not.
It's like, oh,
It's
it was
m-
because Timmy really wanted it.
Yeah, that's how it sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give
Even
you guys
though I get what
context.
you're saying, bro.
Let me give you
But
context.
did
Suli.
you listen to what he
No, I
just
listened
said?
to what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I'm saying all my life, like, I didn't even like to attend weddings. Like, I was that kid that would skip going to weddings when the whole family is going to the wedding. I was only in one wedding, and there's a picture of me in that wedding where I'm a ring bearer, and I was like, just like tired. If you see, I have the picture. If you
That's
see
not the
me
point.
there.
Yeah.
So
That's
for
not the
me,
point.
what I'm saying is, for me, I've never been one. I've also never thought of on my wedding day this.
No, but
this will happen.
listen. Even if we both hate weddings, right? We are now having a wedding because we both agreed that even though it's not the most important thing to us, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And
So you can't now say
yeah.
that, oh, it's because Timmy,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. That's my only
and I think
point.
there's a difference between, sorry to cut you off, but I think there's a difference between what you mean and how you're coming across. Do you get what I'm saying? So I get what you
that's
mean.
where I'm always
I
entering
get what
to,
you mean, but I
because
feel
what
like the
I
way
mean
you're
is
coming
always
across
different from
is completely
how
different.
it's coming across.
Because as a guy, I hear what you're saying.
Just to be clear, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying.
Thank you.
I'm
We have
not
a
saying-
witness today. I'm so
not
happy.
saying the only reason
I'm so happy.
I'm doing a wedding is because Temi wants to do a wedding. That's not what I'm
I don't
saying.
think that either. I get it.
That's
yeah.
that's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying at all, to be very clear.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I do think that part of the motivations, an additional layer of motivation for me doing this wedding, is because I actually do feel that my wife would love this.
But did you ask me that?
Did I ask you if
I would love this?
I think I might have asked you.
But I'm saying
I
is
can't
that
remember
you also
vividly.
you also like you like to read me without asking me.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's crazy. I might have not. this might be the first time I'm actually like, it's mad.
But I'm gonna defend Eazi though, in the sense that like, I feel like, and I have the same issue sometimes with Linda, where I feel like as guys, because we're nonchalant, your partner may not feel like you genuinely want to make her happy, or that you genuinely love her so much that you are making decisions on her behalf because you feel like I want to make her happy. I feel like sometimes I'll do something for Linda and she'll be like, oh, you only did it because this, and I'll be like, yeah, because you're my wife and I genuinely get joy out of making you happy.
True that.
So maybe he may misinterpret it, but in this thing he's like, part of his joy in the experience will be that you're happy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think that's interesting. I think it's interesting, but I think this is where sometimes like communication could just aid everything.
True.
And not like reading in between the lines. Yeah.
So you one in your marriage, are you one? Have you gone through that? Because like I've been learning in the past, especially in the past like 2 years, more actively, to like not think, not assume, like what you were saying, like you think because you could think you're making a decision because you're seeing it as, and I think it will go into what we really wanted to talk about. You think you making that decision or you doing something is servitude to your partner, like it's, and you serving is kind of, even the fact that you're serving is even making you happy.
Yeah.
So it's not. It is like, okay, I'm doing this because I think. And that's emphasis on the word think.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I think Temi really cares about this, right? Or I think Temi will love it. But I've actually not asked Temi and said, how important is me turning up to this dinner all dressed up, not with a t-shirt? Like I've just thought, oh, Temi would love if I wear a suit. So now I've gone out of my way to wear the suit. And then I'm like, when Temi is like, oh, but you're late for this dinner. This is not a real example. Yeah. I'm not like, oh yeah, but it was because of you I was late because I was trying to go get the suit. But she's like, okay, but I never even told you that you were in a suit.
Oh, I care more about him being on time than what he comes.
How's that like happened for you? Is that the same thing? Because there's like a gazillion real examples.
Yeah. I feel like it's the same for like most. I don't know if it's a men or women thing. I don't want to make it a gender, but it's weird because like what you're saying about the suit. Like for instance, I feel like on Monday you could turn up in a suit and she would have been like, "Great, that's a great thing to do." But on a Sunday, the same situation, different. Do you understand what I'm saying? You didn't turn up on a suit. Why didn't you turn up in a suit? I feel like with women, I don't know. It's so hard to gauge. Like, you know, with guys here, we're like definitive. Bro, if I like this, I like this. It stays the same on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes I find like, and I'm not generalizing, I don't want anyone to get, but I feel like it's so hard. And that's why it's important to communicate. I think it's so hard to interpret like what day and what is the right way to do something, you know? Like I wrote this post about giving Linda this bracelet thing and we had this massive argument about a gift that I bought her. Do you understand? A gift that she now loves. But at that time, it was like, I don't want to go in because it's long, but it was like at that time she was like, oh, but this is not the kind of gifts you usually give me. And I said, but this is like any other day, you would have been fine with this. You kind of get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense without context, does it?
No, just add small context. Because I know what you mean because I've seen the post.
Okay, yeah.
But just give it a little bit of context.
So basically, it's Linda's birthday, and on her birthday, she's got this Van Cleef, she's got this Van Cleef bracelet that she was so proud that she bought. When she bought it, she was like, "Oh, you don't buy me stuff like this, designer stuff," and I do from time to time, but it's normally at her request. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not really that inclined when it comes to stuff like that. I like to be more sentimental when I give her stuff. So on this birthday coming up, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna tick the boxes here. And just get her something that matches these bracelet that she said, I haven't bought her a bracelet like this. She made a big deal like, oh, you know, I had to buy this myself. So I bought her the earrings that matched it. Gave it to her on her birthday. And she was like, but this is not what you usually give me on birthdays. You normally think about the gift and make it sentimental. And I was like, but you said you like this. And he said, I'll like this, but on a different day to my actual birthday. You get what I'm saying?
Energy. I love it. I love it.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
So I was like,
I love it.
So I was like, okay, cool. And obviously in hindsight, she was like, you know what? I was just And the conversation was really like, I just wanted to know that you still care the same way. That was actually the crux of the whole post. She was like, I like the way you do stuff, and I know you do that stuff because you care, even though it's like, it's different. You know what I mean? So it's just, it differs. And she wears the earrings all the time now. But on that specific day.
Maybe I think, I think the root of it is maybe just like, you want to feel like, even if it was just something expensive and luxurious, like, it wasn't just tick the box. Like, there was thought behind it. So you could have mixed the sentimentality. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do see what you mean. That sometimes you almost have that fear of like, what will I even do that will be right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because
I understand
it
that.
depends on the season. So I can see why, like, Eazi, maybe like, I want to wear the suit today, but today you want him to be on time. Another day you want him to be better dressed. And you don't mind him being late. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't see that one that much.
And I articulated a lot better in my newsletter. So,
I'm just saying is that if you're someone who yourself is like, you're on time, you show up dressed, when is your partner's time, and you just expect the same. You just expect the same respect. That's all. So like, that can be frustrating.
But then the question is, he may not, and this is not a bad thing, but he may not care that much that you came on time or whether you're dressed up. He just may want you there.
But that's also annoying.
Why? That's not fair.
That's not fair,
It's also annoying. Okay, so let me stop wearing nice clothes and wearing makeup. I'll just be turning up late to his shows. No problem. Okay.
No. I'm not advocating.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
You see what I mean?
feel like it doesn't always have to go like to the extreme of, okay, so let's do this. Okay, because
it's hard.
like, it's not the extreme, but it is hard. I would just say that I'm happy, and especially because I know Linda. So like, as you're talking, I'm like, wow. So Linda is that? Oh my god, because that's not the Linda I get.
No, listen. You guys need to read when I write it. I'm not articulating it well. When they read it, then I don't want to get in trouble. When I've written it, it's more articulate. But...
No, I do know one thing. I know about Linda is like, she's a project manager.
Yeah,
like
100.
Linda is the person I will go to if I want something to come together nicely, perfectly,
immaculately, flawlessly.
Do you understand? So I get that. And when Temi puts out things, even if like there's a campaign she's been doing with Bamboo, and this weekend I saw this Man U jersey.
Yeah.
I saw the Man U jersey, and like, I packed it was packed in my bag, and I was like, I don't have a Man U jersey. This is not my Man U jersey. And I was asking her, I was like, yo, I saw this Man U jersey because we have a new cleaner. And she's like, yeah, that's my jersey. And I was thinking, like, why do you have a Man U jersey? Because I know she's not really into football.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it was for the Bamboo shoot. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, wow. When I work with brands sometimes, they just say, okay, you need to post with this. I just like, okay, you need me to wear this shoe. Okay, I just wear this shoe. Boom, post. Okay, shoe one. But her working with the Bamboo, she had to say companies she has invested in.
Yeah.
And she went down to the point of like getting, like the jersey, because it's
to do the job well. Yeah.
To do the job well. So I was just there thinking, like, the whole time. I was just there thinking, like, wow,
it's serious.
Like, look at how much attention is being put into like
the campaign.
Into the campaign. Like, I don't think the brand even
expects it. They'll be like,
she spent maybe £40 to go buy that jersey just to, and like, there was a photo shoot planned and all of that. Meanwhile, some of us are being paid, more than that amount, and we're just like doing the best.
Take a quick,
But that just, for me, I was just thinking that shows how particular she is about things.
Yeah.
As against like most of us. And I don't even think it's a man-woman thing. I just think it's just...
I think there's also personality.
Yeah, I just think it's just personality.
But I don't want to be particular anymore. I said.
Yeah.
It sounds like Linda. It's funny. No, Linda does say it. She goes, people end up using it against you. Which I can see. She goes like, like people now start to take advantage of the fact that 100%. They know you're always going to be organized.
Yeah.
You're always going to be, so then it becomes like, and as a husband to be, it's kind of like, your job to be like, I can't be that person that's taking advantage of that side of her. Do you get what I'm saying? And you have to. No, I honestly have to, because
Yeah.
especially when you have children and stuff, God willing, you see the toll it takes on her, because it's like, it's not just you that expects that. In every area of her life, people expect that.
So I think especially in your partner, you want to feel like, wow, I'm not
Yeah.
carrying everything.
I
So I think also, but sometimes I put too much responsibility on him. Do you understand? Because I'm picking up slack in like so many other places in my life. So then when it comes to him, I'm like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. So I'll also say that, but not too much.
I think that's a healthy. I think that's a
Not
healthy.
too much.
I think it's healthy.
You know, I'll bring it up. You know what's up. Like sometimes, like literally, sometimes I'd be like, okay, like Temi, you're doing. Let's say I'd be like, I'm just giving a random example. I'd be like, oh, Temi, you're playing the music too loud, right? And Temi will be like, okay, but you're always playing the music too loud, and I never say anything about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're always playing the music too loud, but I never say anything about it. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, but are you like playing the music too loud as a revenge?
Oh,
Because I also play the music
But
too loud?
sometimes
Or shouldn't I
revenge,
just tell
revenge
you
is
that
okay
you're
sometimes.
playing-
I'm so tired of all this. Revenge is okay sometimes.
Do you understand? Like it's not a revenge. It's like, okay, you're playing the music too loud. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm playing it too loud. Let me reduce the volume. Why do you have to go say, okay, yesterday and day before yesterday, you also played
It's
the
all
music
it's
too
all
loud?
music. Why not?
If you came to me and told me, oh,
Yeah.
Eazi, if you came to me and say, oh, Eazi, like your I'm just some random example. If you say, oh, you are maybe you're putting too much, you're leaving too many plates in the sink.
Yeah.
Like if you came to me and said they're putting too many plates in the sink, my response is actually going to be, okay, in my head, I'm like, okay, I need to reduce the amount of
plates
I put in the sink. I'm not going to tell you, okay, but you also put too many plates in the sink. So sometimes when that happens, I'm like, this is not a competition.
There's
and it's like
pettiness going on.
yes, like that's being petty. But on one side, I'm like, okay, to her point, if I've been doing something continuously, I can get how that is annoying. Like if, let's say between you and Linda, if you've been doing something continuously, that could be annoying for Linda. And if the day Linda does the same thing to you, you might flag on it instantly.
Yeah.
I guess no, and I agree. I think that's what I've learned, that because I get exactly what you're saying, and I think it comes down to two things. I think one thing is socialization, and I'll explain that. But another thing as well, that's why you're supposed to communicate in it. Like if you're annoyed about something, you got to say it in the moment rather than be dismissive, because then it manifests in another way. But also the socialization point, like I think what you're talking about as well depends how people grew up very much. Like in the sense that if Temi grew up in a household where it was always, and I'm not judging your household, if you grew up around, it's tit for tat, yeah, that's how you're going to do things. You see what I'm saying? Like for me, one of the things Linda hates is if she leaves food in the fridge and I eat some of it. It sounds so petty, yeah, but it's like Linda was, she's not even eating the food, but if I eat some of it, she'll get annoyed. But Linda grew up with 6 siblings, you understand what I'm saying? So someone eating your food was actually like an act of war in that household, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like certain ways which people deal with certain things kind of like depends to how they kind of like dealt with things like growing up. And then what we forget is when we meet someone else, they're not used to that kind of like dynamic. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just hard because like there's communication and flagging things, but also it's like you don't want to be bringing stuff up all the time. Or do you think that's better?
No, I don't think it's better. Yeah, I don't think it's better. Yeah.
But sometimes, no, listen, there's a lot of times, I think it was yesterday, I was just like, this is annoying me, but I'm just going to free it.
What was that? Tell me. Just tell me. Just tell me. I want to know. Tell me.
Wait, I can't even remember it. So again, it wasn't. Wait, just give me 1 second. I actually remember. I remember. It was when you go back from the airport. And I was like, do you know what? It's okay.
So
Yeah, you
I
got
can't
to let
remember.
something
We have
slide.
to let something
So
slide.
yesterday I got back from the airport.
I can't remember.
And then I was with my friend, and he came.
Oh, I think it's when I came back and you were on the phone for a long time. So we haven't seen each other all weekend because he's been traveling.
Yeah.
So I came back from lunch with my sister and he was just on the phone. And I was like trying to talk to him and catch up.
Because you missed him.
Yeah, I just walked in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I was trying to wrap up that conversation.
Yeah, but wrap
I
up.
really
He was still giggling.
wrapped up-
He was still
I
giggling and
literally-
just you were
Bro,
trying to wrap it
I
up.
literally wrapped up.
Yeah, but
that
I know what it is to
conversation
like
when she
drop a
stepped in.
conversation
Yeah.
because you need my attention.
But I like.
Did you
know
tell
how
him, though,
many
that you
times
miss
I
him?
do that?
And I told him I missed him. Of course, I
When
told
he
him
was
I
on the
missed him.
phone.
No, I was like, I'm
No.
back. Like, come drop the
Oh.
phone. Yeah.
But that's usual. She's always
But she missed you, bro.
yeah. And
Yeah.
by the way, I ended this conversation like 5 minutes later.
Was it an important conversation?
Very very important?
No, you were
conversation.
giggling.
I was giggling. If I'm
Yeah,
giggling, bro, my work. Let me just give context. My entire work right now is conversations and WhatsApp. It is so crazy. Like when I see people like when I see like CEOs or business owners, I think like they're doing something like moving things
Yeah.
and like, but literally, or maybe it's where the world is, or maybe it's like my entire work is conversations with people. It's like I spend the entire weekend. So now I'm trying to raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
I spent the entire weekend with some of my principals and some people who could be investors. We probably talked about business for 10, 15 minutes. The rest we were literally drinking wine from 9 a.m. ended up in the club at 4 a.m. And that tells us that is work, because I know that we're not in the club, or like I'm not drinking that wine just because.
Yeah.
Because I love it. The wine is good. But that's all part of like, yeah, the wine was really good. But
I'm sure it was while I was home alone.
But and I even sent her the fish that I was giving her the heebie-jeebies. We made fish and all of that. But it's so crazy that all of that chit-chat is what actually makes
Yeah,
like
relationships.
it's so crazy. Like that part is what will make that person
I
invest.
understand 100%.
Or
I'm
not.
just saying is that I wanted you to come off the phone, but I dropped it. I
Okay.
dropped it, and then
She
we
left
we
it,
had
yeah.
a great day.
She was quite mature about it.
I was being mature
Suli, are
about
there
it.
things I think for me, there's like, if I had to bring up everything that I was not like 100% on, I was not happy with, if I had to bring it up, like there'll be a very long list.
Wow.
But in my brain,
Like what?
yeah, like if
You
I
need
had
to work on how you deliver your
That's
delivery.
why that's really hard. It's not even such a harsh thing
what
to
I
say.
what I mean is
Your
this,
delivery.
like,
Listen, someone just said your delivery is bad.
I like that you're flagging my delivery, because
It's
it's making
so
me.
bad.
I get what you're saying, but the
Yeah,
delivery
but you
is,
get what I'm saying.
is-
Maybe I'm not just good with words. Maybe I'm not good with words.
no, you're
I'm
a
learning
lyricist,
to-
bro. Come on.
I'm
like,
learning to be
it's your
good with
career.
words. Let me rephrase. What I'm trying to say is, like, for instance, like, I think every one of us, I think it is such a miracle. There's one time Temi wrote this note to me about, and I remember very vividly, because she was talking about the miracle. It's such a miracle for two different people to, not by force, to like meet from two different worlds, two different people, male and female, meet, like just collide, you know, like destiny just brings you together, and you guys actually decide to be together in spite of your many
Everything,
differences. Like, I think that's like,
It's profound.
it was in a note she wrote to me once, and I always remember that, and sometimes I think about that a lot. And in terms of differences, because two individuals are very different, what matters to one might not matter to the other. And so sometimes she laughs at me at, there'll be a violation from somebody and I won't treat it as a violation. And the most minute thing is what I would then flag as the major violation. And she's like, so when the person did A, B, C, D, E, that wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
It's this little one. But that just shows like the difference in our personalities. So bringing it back home, what I'm saying is, there are things that are not anything to most people, but to me, they're big deals. But I don't, like, when those things happen, for most of it, I just tell myself, you know, how big is this in the grand scheme of things? Moving on. And so I just want it to be out there that the same way that a lot of other partners feel like the letting things slide is mutual. There's everybody is letting things slide. It's not a one-way thing. It's just that sometimes one partner is more vocal about what they're letting slide than the other partner. And it's like, in this whole mesh, what are you supposed to do? Like, it's to find sort of like a balance between saying everything that you're not happy, you're not like everything you flag, versus only flagging the ones that are like really skin deep to you. And like, how many of those will be? You know?
Yeah, I hear what you're... Were you going to say something?
No, please go ahead. Please, yeah.
No, I kind of... I hear what you're saying in the sense that, like, I can relate to the sentiment in it. Do you understand? I don't know if it's the right way to approach it, but I can definitely relate to the sentiment but I feel like as well, and I don't want to make it a gender thing as well, but I feel like I could, like, Linda could do something that annoyed me, but then I'd turn on the TV and basketball's on and I forgot that completely. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas if I do something to Linda, I don't know, maybe it's because, like you said, it's personality type, but it might have more of a, like, compounding, like, impact on her. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's good to let things slide, but if they're compounding and they're gonna manifest in other ways, innit?
Yeah,
So
even if it's something small, it's that one time you do it. It's like,
because, like,
too much. Yeah.
Because, like you said, what happened yesterday? You said it wasn't a big deal, but obviously you still remembered it. Do you get what I'm saying? So it matters. So next time you lot may leave this podcast and be like, I've got to shoot, and he didn't give you a kiss, and you'd be like, okay, this is 2 times now. One thing me and my wife do, we don't do as much because we had kids, but before we used to go to sleep, I don't know why we started it, but we say one good thing, one bad thing. So it's like, before you go to sleep, you say one good thing the person did today and one bad thing, but you say the bad thing first. But the bad things are never usually like, oh, you told me to shut up or whatever. It's little things like that where it's like, I came home and I wanted to talk to you, I missed you, and you didn't, and especially it's easier to say in bed when you're about to sleep, and and I think those are the place for the little things that you let slide. And then there's obviously another place for, like, the big ones, which is like, they have a significant impact on the relationship.
Yeah, I really like that tip though. Do you think we can integrate that?
You should do it. It's good. It's so simple.
One good thing, one bad thing.
Every night before you sleep, literally.
What if, like, I don't remember any bad thing?
I don't know for you.
But we should do it. So
let's try it out.
So what's your... And I'm asking you your advice because you have gone through it. What's your advice that you're going to leave with me? And Temi, you should also ask some question. But what's your advice you're going to leave with me in regards to how I navigate this wedding preparation? Like, navigate it in a way where, and taking from your experience of things you did, things you didn't do, things you look back on and say, oh, I should have done this. Like, if you were to just say, yo, my bro, take this from me.
It would have been different advice until I got here and I kind of saw how you two react. And I think, bro, your delivery, like, honestly, like, if I had to say, bro, I want to save your relationship. It's not, you're a chillax guy, in it. Your demeanor is very chilled as well. But you definitely need to work on your delivery, because sometimes I'm gonna tell you this, like, I'm not even gonna lie. It's not because I get everything you're saying, bruv. I can hear and I get you, but the way you're saying
how
it,
you're saying
it's just like
cold.
It's not cold. I wouldn't say it's
sometimes
cold.
it's cold.
No, because if you're talking to someone who wasn't his partner, it's not cold. It's like, okay, cool. That's just
but to me
easy,
it feels
innit?
cold.
You know what I mean? But to your fiance, it's like
Yesterday I was like, I remember I was like, I can't remember what it was, but I was saying, I think I had a nightmare or something. He was like, you'll be fine.
No, I didn't say you'll be fine.
I was like, that you comfort someone.
I actually didn't say you'll be fine.
But whatever you said, we were laughing because I was like,
it sounds like words are very important to Temi though. It's like obviously, it's as someone who reads and writes, I feel like words are very important to her. Maybe you don't know, but it sounds like the way someone says something is very important.
No, but I was like, put me closer. Say, sorry.
he said that would be fine.
Anyway, thank you. But I'm saying thank you for pulling up on that. That's very, like, it's very intuitive that you've seen that.
I think maybe I said it's gonna get better. Is that what?
You said it'll all be okay.
So if you're young, do you have nieces or do you have nieces or
Yeah, I
nephews?
have a niece.
If your niece came up to you and said, I had a nightmare, what would you say to her?
I would say, what was the nightmare about?
Okay, so that's at least showing that you care.
Yeah, and they'll tell me what the nightmare was about. And then I'll say, okay, don't worry, I'll pray for you. Or I'll say, don't worry, next time you have a nightmare, say Jesus. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or I'll say, yeah, that's what I'll normally do.
Okay,
cool. I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, maybe it's just the way you communicate with everyone, but even that shows a little consideration to the fact that what you understand what she's going through, innit? Because she's a kid and you need to give her some kind of confidence and faith. But whereas just saying to someone, yo, that's fine, it's like...
No, I did. I
it's like there's more important things going on right now.
She had a nightmare and I said, oh, that's fine.
It was no, I've exaggerated
like,
it.
We've
but
talked about...
it was funny to the point where we both started laughing. Like,
we started laughing.
Like,
we actually did.
Okay, now I want to ask my final question, which is, what did you wish you knew in like your first year of marriage that maybe could have solved a little bit of headache or friction? Just something that you think you could have avoided if you went back.
Okay, so you live together, so you've kind of got that kind of thing. Like, we live together as well. I guess the big thing you understand is that his responsibilities are going to become more your responsibilities, and more of your responsibilities is going to become him. More than, like, right now, you lot are still living very separate lives, even though you don't realize it. But when you get married, and I know more so when you have kids, but your lives are going to become so much more intertwined with each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's not expecting to be able to be like, dismiss his responsibilities and just be like, okay, I'm just going to do my own thing. Or him not expecting, okay, dismiss her responsibilities. And I'm going to, because right now, as you get married, it just gradually becomes to the point where you're almost like one person. Like what they're doing is going to impact what you're doing. What she's doing is going to impact, I think that...
I'm confused, actually.
Like, basically, like, our lives will become one to the point where if I have an issue or something, it's actually your issue.
Yeah, it's going to become even more so that way. And it's going
with work, with family, with everything.
Particularly with stuff like family, you know what I mean? It's like, that's now your family, If there's a beef with like your mum or her dad or her whatever, it's like you have a role in that, Before it used to be like, let me just console you from the background, but now you're her husband, you know what I mean? And sometimes family, they may even bring the issue directly to you now because you're the husband, So I think we overlook how much it's going to change us. We also it changes the perception of how other people see you, especially parents. Like, your responsibility becomes you're the husband. Your responsibility becomes you're the wife, things like that. That's a big change that I think no one ever told me.
Okay, taking notes.
I think me and you need to have like a side on that.
Head to head after this episode.
Because I think like there needs to be like some unraveling, or maybe I just process slowly because I'm just still thinking like...
Maybe I wasn't clear on it then, I don't like...
But Temi did you get what he said?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. Well, you guys in the comments can help us understand.
Please, you guys help us understand what exactly...
And tell us what you think.
This is and what you think. But Suli...
Thank you so much for being our first guest. And please tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me, or please check out my newsletter, For Better or For Worse, newsletter.substack.com.
Go subscribe.
Please do. You can pay and subscribe as well, like my guy. Don't worry. And then everything else is sulibreaks.com, and you can just find all my different social medias.
IG, Twitter, everything.
There,
amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Suli. So that's it for this episode of How Far. Thank you so much for listening. You can find all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Play, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Don't forget to subscribe to our socials and follow our YouTube channel.
Share this episode on your socials and leave us with a review of 5 stars. See you next week.